Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodcrafts by Design shop. I'm Joshua Iverson, and on today's tips and tricks video, I'm going to show you how to repair and fix some of the annoying issues that come with using cheap plastic blast gates for your desk collection. So let's get started. Okay, here before you, I have on the table two basically identical blast gates. Now, these were made by Rockler. I prefer using these pretty much only because they have this back plate to mount to the wall or the tool bench or whatnot for the blast gate. That's pretty much the only reason that I chose these. And I've recently found out that there are other places I can get this besides Rockler, but pretty much all the ones that I have are this standard Rockler 4-inch blast gate. And two major issues I have with these blast gates. Um, One of them being is the part that holds the door in here. These two pieces of plastic right here become delaminated. Basically, the glue or whatever it is they use to hold these two plastic pieces together uh, basically falls apart or comes undone, and then the door itself doesn't exactly stay closed. I mean, I've even had them pop apart to where the door falls out. Now, one quick and easy repair, because I didn't feel comfortable enough trying to, like put some super glue in this bed right here where the two plastics meet that hold the gate together. I basically, we use this method at the other shop I was at, and basically just ran some screws right through the two pieces of plastic. These I ran through and then grounded down the back sides as best I could with my grinding wheel, so that way you don't get scratched opening and closing the gate. And it works really well, to be honest. It's cheap, it's easy, it's quick, and it works. Now, my second issue here, which is the main issue and why I'm filming this video, is if you have a dust collection system like mine where you have, say 18, a dozen and a half tools that are hooked up to your dust collector, and I don't have the most powerful dust collector in the world, um, but I did connect them all with metal ducting, done semi properly as best I could to my knowledge. And the problem I have with these cheaper blast gates, and there are better designs out there. Some of the metal ones do better. There's other designs where the blast gate is actually a circle within the slidey bit itself, so it goes all the way through, which would remedy the problem. The problem is they take up so much space, um, which I didn't go for because this is, I can mount it to a wall, easy, takes up less space, and it's easier to get done. But as you can see here, the difference between this one and this one is the addition of these two holes here. Now, I drilled those out using, I believe, a 5/8 Forstner bit on the one side. And basically what it does, what it allows, is you can see that this blast gate closes all the way. You can see that the blast gate itself, basically comes all the way to the back of the molded plastic right here. You can see it slide in and out. Now the problem with that is like in this blast gate that I haven't fixed yet, it doesn't close all the way. And you're letting, I don't know if you can see this, but you can see here in the back, you can, let's see if I can get this oriented right. There's a hole there that goes all the way through because the blast gate is around right there. And the shape of this thing is their way of trying to be self-cleaning, but it really isn't. And basically, that little air gap, you multiply that by 5, 6, 7 blast gates, it really reduces your amount of airflow through the gate you're trying to use because it's basically sucking air from all these other partially open gates. And what I've done in the past and what I did at the other shop is basically took a nail, just a finish, sorry, basically a finish nail. Now, this is all dirt that's already fallen out of there. Let's see how much dirt is actually in this thing. You know, basically we always took the finish nail and just kind of cleaned it out as best we could. And we usually do this with it still attached to the dust collection system, so that way as you're picking it out of there, it kind of sucks it into the dust collector and gets it out of there. Okay, I pretty much got it all out. But look at all this crud. All this crud gets compacted in these little, channel ways back in here and have no way to escape. So when you close the gate, it just compacts it in there. And little by little, it just keeps compacting more and more and more until you get to the point where you have, your blast gates open like this, which is a worst case scenario. You can't close it any further because the dust is all crap packed in there. So I've thought about this for a long time, and it finally hit me. Maybe there's a way that I could actually get the dirt out of there without having to clean it with a nail, every month or so, because they get so packed in there. And the solution I came up with was this. Drilling those holes in there has made the world of difference, because number one, what it really does is, yeah, you lose a tiny bit of airflow at the gate you're using. But when the gate's closed, it's closed. It can't really suck air from here because the suction is either on either side of this plastic and it's sealing it off. So realistically, if you get any crud in those channels just from dirt falling in there as it rushes past and loses, falls out of the suction field, the airflow, when you go to close this, what it's doing, because of the shape of these things, you get it to a certain point, it's going to start sucking air really hard from these two holes, which is going to pull any debris that got in there down the dust collection system and out of those holes. And even if it doesn't manage to get it all out, the hole is open up pretty much right to the corner to where if it loses suction, anything that's still back in there will just want to fall out of the hole, assuming that this is more or less in like a upright position like this is and not flat. Now a lot of mine are flat like this, and the ones that I have done this to, I have never ever had a problem. I had to go back and clean them out with a nail again. So that's just kind of a testament to how well this really works. And so if I go and do this to the remaining tools that blast gates that I haven't done this to, it should make my dust collection that much more efficient, because I'm not having a whole bunch of gates that are partially open like this. If they're all closed and I'm only using the one, it should make that one blast gate that much more efficient when I use it. So just a tip, quick tip or trick about these things. Yeah, I know there's better designs out there, but I went for these because of the bracket that mounts to the wall and the compactness that this allows me to get to the wall. I don't have something that's twice as long because you have to deal with the big whole slidey thing that's all the way, runs all the way through. I mean, yeah, it kind of deals with the issues of this on its own, but it takes up that much more space and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So if you have blast gates like this, these two tips about this, fastening these two plastic pieces back down and dealing with these holes to deal with the, the dust crud issue, that should pretty much take care and make these an awesome blast gate like they have been for me. So now I need to go around and finish all the ones that I haven't done yet. Well, I hope this tips and tricks video has proven to be worth watching. I know it's kind of a simple video and a simple fix, but it's made a world of difference. I don't have to tear my blast gates apart every month to clean them, stick a nail in there and get all the crud out, so that way I have efficient dust collection. So if it's worked for me, hopefully these tips and tricks will help you if you have similar blast gates with similar issues. So I hope this has helped. And until then, keep making sawdust. Bye.